Good morning. This is everything I spend in a day for a day when I am spending it alone and trying to entertain myself in London.
Come on, soft, turn the key and cooler on. Push the pause for relief.
So, in what can only be described as a very exciting turn of events, a new cafe slash wine bar has opened up in our area. So today, let's go get a tea from them.
I will see the whole deal through today.
I've got my journal because I am alone and I want to have some solo reflections, think about life and whatnot. And then I've also brought a paper. I've got the London Review of Books. This is an old edition, but I haven't read it yet. It's just been sitting in our mailbox for a really long time and I never check my mail. So keen to read that as well. Maybe just a few articles whilst having a tea this morning and getting out of the house.
Set aside every empty spreadsheet line and loosen up on the grind. Simmer down, settle back and mess around. Be the cat in the sun.
First spend of the day was that tea. It was £2.80, pretty standard tea price, I think. Wait, no, that's kind of a lie. Sometimes, like at my favourite cafe, I can get a builder's tea for £1. So, but I also don't mind paying up to £3 or so to get to like sit and hang out in a space. Cute little new cafe. I really liked the courtyard there. It was a bit cold because there was no sun hitting it and there was no like tables, but it was cute. It was very fairy garden-esque. I got a chance to read my book, but I didn't get a chance to journal because there were no tables. So now I'll go journal somewhere else. Behind me here is a house that is known as the Mole Man's house. Essentially, the person who lived there previously had dug a bunch of tunnels underneath the house. And when the council found out, they evicted him and filled in all the tunnels, but it's since been restored. And it's just like a really fun fact of the area.
Oh man, we got a problem. Nothing remains, everything fades, old friend.
Oh, well done! Well done!
This is a song about the way it feels, the way you burn, and the way you heal. Don't try and stir it up and stare in his ugly face to reconcile with the angry beast in a crowded space.
Nice.
No, nothing draws a crowd like a good fight. So how do we get this mean old boy down from his tower?
I've just popped home real quick to wash myself off, grab a water, and just recharge for a second. I was having lunch at Towpath. That's probably my next purchase of the day. I spent, I think, £16.30 at Towpath on lunch and a drink. On this particular Saturday, they happened to be doing a bit of a community cleanup of the canal. So I volunteered, jumped in a kayak, which was really fun, and used these pickers to collect all of this trash in the canal. And I really enjoyed it. Going through the canal and picking trash was so satisfying. But best part, of course, is that volunteering and that whole experience was free. It was also a nice way to meet other people, meet people from the community, get out onto the water. I also learned about this kayak club. So I think I'm actually going to try that out because it was quite enjoyable, and I feel like I got a proper workout on my arms as well. I did have a few comments or questions from people about like how I find out things to do in London, and I have to admit that is one of the main ways, is just by serendipity. So just being somewhere, noticing something that's going on, and I guess feeling confident enough to kind of go and ask what's going on. And usually the people who are organizing those things want people to get involved. So they're happily like, yes, please come along and let me tell you all about it. And then, of course, I also find out a lot of things through friends of friends. Like people mention that their favorite coffee shop is doing this event, so let's go check it out. And another way is also by kind of staying up to date on either the socials, if you're on socials, or the mailing list of different companies, brands, or places that you love spending time at. So it is about being like really proactive, getting out there and finding out what's going on. When I first moved here, I was overwhelmed by the amount of things that were happening. Now I've kind of figured out what I enjoy, and so I just try to like stick to all of that kind of thing. Okay, now let's go to the park. I want to read my book. I'm absolutely loving the book I'm reading at the moment, and I'm hoping to get through a good chunk this afternoon. Okay, I've got a new bag of goodies to take out with me this afternoon. I've got my book that I'm reading, a water bottle, a picnic blanket. I've got this soda that we had in the fridge. I think because I'm drinking it today, I'm going to count the cost of it in today's video. And then I've also got some leftover brownies. I got these from work this week to celebrate 1 year at my new job. And so I've got just a few brownies in there that I'll also snack on in the park. I have a monthly Lime pass, so I'll just divide the cost per day, and that will be the cost of the Lime today. I really do churn through the pass every month. I use it completely. Fun fact, Victoria Park is London's oldest public park. It opened in 1845 for all of the East End workers, and now in 2024 I get to enjoy it. It is a huge green space for East London, and it is an incredibly beautiful park. I love running here, I love sitting here, I love eating here. It's Vicky P. So I picked up All Fours by Miranda July because I had seen it around so much, and I am absolutely loving it. It's low-key unhinged. Like this woman, the main character, she's like some kind of semi-famous artist, and she's meant to be traveling to New York, but she never makes it to New York because instead she drives like about 30 minutes out of town, and then on her way to like drive across the country from LA to New York, she kind of finds herself just in the next town over. I love that I don't really know which direction she's heading, or that there is any correct direction. She's kind of just responding to where she is in life right now, like post giving birth and raising a child, as well as entering perimenopause. I think it's just so interesting. As much as she seems a little bit unhinged and able to flow through life a little bit more easily than others, I don't hate her for it. I kind of like where it's taking me. And for a novel, I just am really entertained and enjoying it. I'm not finished yet, but I'm definitely a good chunk of the way through. And I have been enjoying every time I pick it up and read a chapter. So I found this place called Make Town, where it's kind of like a space to do textiles projects. And on this particular Saturday, they had a weaving workshop, so weaving on a floor loom. And honestly, it just looked stunning in the pictures, and I was so intrigued by this device. So I signed up to go and check it out. If you read The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, there's this concept she shares along with morning pages, which is very popular, but also artist dates, where essentially you kind of take yourself on a date or out to an activity where it kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone, or maybe it pushes you towards a more creative element of yourself. So I like to think that this is my little artist date for myself, to go and try weaving, see what it's like, see what it's about. Maybe I'll love it, who knows? But there's only one way to find out. And I just love that there are these spaces across London to experiment and try these things. I think it is very good for when you're alone and want to entertain yourself, to kind of sign up to these things and just try it out.
Reflections of the clouds above, the sound of rain along the pond. The grass that grows beneath my feet, I close my eyes, the hum of bees. I plucked a flower, violet green, lily of the valley on my knees.
That weaving workshop was so good. Oh my days. Here's my little weave that I made. Isn't it a cutie? I can't believe I did this all by hand on the little floor loom machine. I'll put this here. Make Town was really, really nice. All of the different materials were so nice, a really nice colorway that the person who runs it had chosen. So it just made making one mildly aesthetic much easier. The floor loom was really easy to get a handle of, and then once I was kind of in the zone, it was such a repetitive pattern that it was really nice to just switch off and focus on the task at hand. So I think I'll be back. That was a lot of fun. That was 2 hours. You can go kind of it's an open classroom, and the person is there at all times to help you understand how to use the machine. And you can kind of go for 6 hours if you want, or like me, I went for 2 hours and you pay by the hour. So I paid £42 for my little afternoon artist date. Well worth it. And also just a really nice space to be in, and all the people were also there to learn and try out a new thing on a Saturday. So that was really nice. Now we're into the evening. I had kind of thought I might go to the movies because I love going to the movies, but I've been out all day and I really just want to cozy up at home. So I'm just going to cook dinner at home. I just went to Tesco on the way. I think I spent, £6. So that's a really affordable dinner, actually. I'm really excited to just be home tonight, watch a movie, cook my own dinner after such a big, fun, busy day, entertaining myself here in London town. I guess the total of everything I spent today will be somewhere here. I have not added it up. I do think I was a little on the cheaper side of how much I normally spend on food on the weekend, but then obviously I did the activity, so I think it'll just balance itself out, and it's probably a pretty realistic amount of money that I would spend. But you know, money is here to be spent and enjoying life. And equally, sometimes it's really nice to stay home. So it's all give and take, hey? But really, it changes every day. So who am I to tell you what amount to spend? Thanks so much for coming along, and see you next time. Bye.